London Knights. He wears number 16. Jimmy McDowell, one of the few 19-year-olds, drops it off for Luke Cairns. There was traffic in front, and that hit Johnny McGuire. And Kevin Rain brings it out to center, gives it to Max Domi, and Max will chase it down in the corner. Kevin Rain, lots of time to shoot, and he just missed the far side. Kevin Rain all over the place for the Knights. Back in his own zone now. He'll drop it off for his defense partner, Russian import Nikita Zadorov. Seth Griffin has Max Domi going to the net. Domi on the backhand, scores! What a beauty from Max Domi!
Sensational speed and awareness and great chemistry with the line mate. This all starts from the back end. You talk about making a good first pass to make things happen. That's how it starts for the London Knights here. Domi with a 6th goal of the year. Here's a quick reverse from Rain. And now Zadorov makes a great pass here. It goes up to Seth Griffin. But watch, like a cannon, he comes from behind the puck supporting the play, does Domi, and he's able to shoot through the defense pairing and go up top on the backhand. Brilliant, brilliant execution from end to end by the London Knights to start the scoring in this game.
What a shot by Max Domi. He is averaging nearly 2 points per game so far in this young season. Connor McDavid now with the puck wearing number 97 for the Erie Otters. You can see that explosive speed from the 15-year-old. Knights have to be careful, stay on him. And Tommy Hughes, the overager, number 14, staying close to McDavid. Knocks him down, and that gives Matt Rupert a chance to shovel it down the ice.
Yeah, you'll watch a couple of times tonight and see from various players, Connor McDavid, Max Domi, even Bo Horvat, shifts that will make you think that these guys are much older than they really are.
J.P. Lombardo, the only overager in the Erie Otters lineup. He wears number 22, and he's playing out there with Connor McDavid and their captain, Connor Brown, a 6th-round pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ryan Rupert, also a 6th-round pick of the Maple Leafs. In fact, they were taken consecutively, number 156 and 157 by the Leafs. Leafs brass will want to watch this shift.
Yeah, and don't think that this Maple Leafs camaraderie means anything in this game at all. Those two will be going at each other all night.
Josh Anderson trying to dig a puck loose. He's in his 2nd season. He's a 4th-round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Dansk will leave it for the very steady, if not spectacular, Adam Pelech.
3rd-round pick of the New York Islanders, and they think they got a steal there because this guy won't get the credit he deserves because you look at his point totals and they're not overwhelming. But you want to talk about a stay-at-home defenseman? Check out Adam Pelech, number 27 for Erie.
Not fun to play against. That one's picked off, slid in front to Chris Tierney. Tierney was a 2nd-round pick of the San Jose Sharks. He's looking for his first goal. Had a couple of cracks right there.
And Zadorov just got a little too cute. Here's a guy who's man-mountain. He's in a perfect position just inside the top of the circle. You got to let that puck fly.
Tierney again trying to work his way to the net. Tierney still with it. There's Josh Anderson there with him. It comes loose to Stephen Harper, and he'll poke it over to Jimmy McDowell. Nick Betts takes a bump. Harper, bouncing puck, couldn't handle it clean.
That's Zadorov. He plays a very much a North American style of game. He's dropped the gloves a couple of times this year already. Highly, highly touted for the upcoming National Hockey League draft. You'll see him jump in and play a physical brand.
They lose one 6'5" defenseman in Tenorti. They get another one in Zadorov.
Must be nice.
Knights with an early 1-goal lead. Max Domi with a terrific backhand shelf. Kyle Platzer, 17-year-old rookie, took a shot from a sharp angle, and Oscar Dance steered to the side. Lead pass for Nick Betts. He's at the end of a shift. He'll just send it into the Knight zone.
Yeah, if you're the Erie Otters, you come into this game, you're a little starstruck. It's been a while since you've been on the national stage. You're a young hockey club. You're off to a tough start in this season. It's very important here in these first 10 minutes that Erie just kind of settles things down and gets into its rhythm early on.
Erie's going to be a scary team. Their first 4 picks from this past priority selection draft are all in the lineup. 3 16-year-olds, and of course Connor McDavid, just 50.
And they're missing Dane Fox, who to me is a high-end, probably 3rd-round equivalent National Hockey League pick.
Luke Cairns Where's number 40? He was the most improved player for Erie last season.
And getting back to Fox just for a minute now, he was great in the prospects game last year. But here's a guy out with a foot injury, probably expected back in about 6 weeks.
This is dangerous. Seth Griffith comes in, a hard shot, and danced with Domi coming in on him, is able to hang on.
A good stop there by Dansk. And let's go back to the first shift of the game for 15-year-old Connor McDavid, granted exceptional status. And here he is just hovering around. As soon as he sees that there's an opportunity to get to the puck, he goes to that area. And now watch the nifty stick work. It's the speed. He's able to blow by Hughes there before pulling up and being bounced off the puck. This guy's got explosive power, explosive speed, unbelievable miss.
Ole Madden, 22nd overall pick by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Leads it for his defense partner, Hughes. And now Ryan Rupert. Cross-ice pass. Only his twin brother would have been able to get a stick on that one. Out of the air. It was a foot and a half off the ice. Brett Wolichak just misses a hit from Pelech. Won't keep it in for long. J.P. Lombardo. Some speed to the outside. Hughes closes on him and plays him well.
Boy, I like Hughes' game early on. Didn't get a ton of playing time last year with the London Knights, but now forced into a more prominent role, wearing a letter, and looks like he's been able to step up his game.
Nathan Glass, a little skating room. Fires one right in on Bailey. Just blockers it to the corner. Ole Madden. He was so good for the Knights during the OHL playoffs. Trying to get back to that level.
RJ, I want to go back to Max Domi's goal and just show you what kind of speed he has in awareness. Look, he realizes that as soon as that pass is made, he takes off. He's not worried about offside. He's not worried about anything but putting himself in good position to receive the puck on a 9-game point streak now with 6 goals. And each and every day, this guy shows why he's going to be a first-round National Hockey League pick, and a high one at that.
And a lot of confidence in Seth Griffith there, knowing he was going to get him the puck. Griffith's such an intelligent player.
Good goal scorer in his own right, 45 last year for the Knights.
Kearney, some hard work to keep that puck deep. Bo Horvat's in there on it now. Horvat had 1 assist in his first 4 games. He has 8 points in his last 4. Almost had an assist as Josh Anderson set one up high, and our first penalty of the game is on the way.
Well, and this one will go against the Erie Otters. And it'll go against Travis Wood, who goes to the box. Robbie Ftorek, the head coach of the Erie Otters. And you'll see very easily there, as that stick goes parallel to the ice, Wood was caught flat-footed. And in order to slow his man down, perform the hook. And so this London Knights power play gets the opportunity to go to work. Keep an eye on 53, Bo Horvat in front of the net for London.
Horvat's the man with the puck. Kicks it to Max Domi. Quickly to Seth Griffith. Griffith sets up top of the circle, and his pass is off the shin pad of Lombardo. Goes down the ice. Tough start for the Otters. They fall behind 1-0. They went 4 minutes and 25 seconds before they've registered their first shot. Shots are 6-1 Knights, and now the Knights have a man advantage. Ole Madden trying to pin his body up against the boards, and a good penalty kill so far from the Otters.
Yeah, you don't really want to let this London Knights team get set up. There's good chemistry up there when you've got Griffith, Domi, Horvat. Well, this group is very well aware of what it can do on the power play.
5 power play goals in their last 2 games, but it's been all Otters in the first minute of the PK.
Yeah, good puck pressure, taking chances to pressure the puck at the right time so far in this kill for Erie.
Seth Griffith, number 17, a 5th-round pick to the Boston Bruins. Head up all the way. Puts it on the tape of Scott Harrington. Harrington will go back with Alex Broadhurst. Matt Rupert. Back to Griffith. Right back to Rupert. No shot. Harrington takes a shot. That's off the stick of Jake Evans. Griffith. Good puck movement by the Knights. Griffith again. This time he shoots. That one missed. Scott Harrington keeps possession. Broadhurst behind the net to Matt Rupert. Ryan Rupert battling in front of the net with all kinds of Otters. Seth Griffith, final 20 seconds of the power play. Broadhurst doesn't shoot. Ryan Rupert can't get a stick on it, and Evans gets to it and sends it down the ice.
Good pressure there by London once again as they go with their second power play unit featuring the Rupert brothers.
Final seconds tick off the power play as Seth Griffith brings it in over the line. That's off the skate of Matt Rupert, and Dangerous there as Travis Wood was coming out of the penalty box and almost was able to get that loose puck. Late pass for J.P. Labardo. He has Connor Brown going to the front of the net. A sharp angle. Kevin Bailey was looking for it, and it was under him. Bailey, just his second shot of the game, tested him. Max Domi has the London Knights ahead.
And both of them were at him. Hey, that's what we played with. I mean, that's how things happen in those days. And I don't know how we didn't receive any kind of concussions. Well, yeah. Again, and speaking to him, maybe they did a couple.
It really is unbelievable they wore those helmets, though. Not much to them.
But they're hockey freaks, those guys. I mean, they just love being around the rink. They love being around the room. They really enjoy it here with the Knights.
Mark was upset. He left it in the backyard, and the dog chewed it in the old helmet.
Yeah, he had to get it fixed.
That's what equipment guys are for. Matt Rupert can't get it out. Hughes loses track of it. McDavid can't get a shot, throws it in front. A sprawling Ollie Mata deflected that pass away, and it is sent down the ice. Again, Connor McDavid on the ice and creating some chances.
Boy, he's so slick with the puck, and he's got unbelievable vision. And you just wondered how he was going to be able to produce. With 12 points, he's the leading Ontario Hockey League scoring rookie. And let's take you back to September 21st. Here's his first OHL goal, and it's against these London Knights. And the one thing that people worried about, with his size, would he be able to go to the front of the net? But look at how soft the hands are in motion. A smaller guy playing against bigger guys right in front of the net. He's able to bury it.
Tyler Ferry keeps that one in, sends it to the corner. Josh Anderson down low to Bo Horvat. Now Chris Tierney. These three all sophomores for the Knights. All fought for playing time last season. Their mainstays in the lineup this year. Tierney back to Ferry. Cole Horvat. He's got Connor Crisp all over him. Runs into his own man. Crisp wraps it around, but Ferry kept it in momentarily. Cairns sending it ahead. Cole Horvat down low to Tierney. Tierney. Back to Harrington. Lofts one near the front of the net. That hit Anderson. Didn't get through to Dansk. Barry moves it across to Harrington. Stephen Harper. Unlike the Prime Minister of Canada, this guy's a left winger. That shot's up high. Travis Wood digging along the boards. Wood still working hard. He's knocked down. He's a 17-year-old from Wisconsin. One of those guys that can make things happen when he's out there. A guy that's maybe surprised Robbie Fatorik and Peter Sidorkiewicz a little bit in the Erie Otters lineup. Harrington, the new captain of the Knights, taking over that role from Jared Tenorti. Connor McDavid trying to make some moves, drops it off. Glass can't get a shot. Max Domi came back to knock it off his stick. Stolen by Labardo, all alone in front. McDavid trying to tuck it in, and it was loose for a moment in the blue paint.
That's the kind of awareness, and you see him there, and you think maybe I'll take the easy shot. I'm right at the side of the net. Instead, he tries to go around that pad of Bailey. Maybe a little too cute, but you have to like the creativity nonetheless.
That one's picked off by Connor Brown. Labardo couldn't get a shot from a rolling puck. Troy Donne, big 6'7" defenseman. Leaves it behind for Connor Brown. He was an OHL first-team all-rookie last season. Working against Max Domi. Those two sophomores now. Mata shows some patience, gets it ahead to Griffith. J.P. Labardo back there.
A good push by the Erie Otters to try and find some confidence.
McDavid again, picking up speed, goes to the far side and missed. Connor McDavid not disappointing early on in this first period. Adam Pellick walks one ahead. Rain throws a bump, chases after the puck. Kevin Rain with a little skating room. Matt Rupert Moves it ahead to Brett Wolichka. Wolichka, a London native. He's on pace to double his point total from last season. Low shot. Stans handles that. Matt Rupert on it immediately. Kevin Rain will have to hurry. Luke Cairns not far away. Nikita Zadorov. His pass just to an open side. That'll send Spencer Abraham back. 19-year-old defenseman acquired from Brampton to add a little veteran presence to this team.
Yeah, and they needed a little help on that back end. And Spencer Abraham, his experience playing for Stan Butler, is really that steadying presence. It's nothing presence, but nothing spectacular in his game, but very steady.
Low shot. That's handled by Bailey. He deflects it up into the mesh. Connor McDavid, he's been dangerous. A couple of chances. This one might have been his best. 1997. Hard to believe. 15 years old, and Connor McDavid leads the Erie Otters in scoring, leads all OHL rookies in scoring, and has come close a couple of times tonight already.
A couple of really good bursts. And you look at the OHL Cup, and I got to witness a couple of his games playing with the Toronto Marlies last year. 19 points, 11 goals. He was named the tournament MVP despite his team losing to the Mississauga Rebels 2-1 in the championship game, but definitely worthy of MVP honors.
That was a great stat that we just showed, that he's on a 9-game point streak. And what makes it significant is he's not riding the coattails of anybody on the team. The next best streak is a 2-game point streak by Luke Cairns. So Connor McDavid is making things happen as a 15-year-old. Sharp angle. That's up in the logo of Kevin Bailey, and he hangs on.
You know, the guy in charge with developing Connor McDavid is Robbie Ftorek, who's throughout his playing career, his coaching career here, took over in October of 2007, and he knows he's got a special player on his hands. And I love it when you ask him the question before the game, is there any situations in which you don't use this guy? And he kind of rhetorically said, well, do you see any that I shouldn't? And quite frankly, he's out there in every situation possible, as he should be.
Well, you know the guy's good when the coaches, Robbie Ftorek and Peter Sidorkiewicz, joke about trying him in goal. See if he could do that, too. That's how good he is in every situation. And Stephen Harper, number 10 for the Erie Otters out there right now. He's just 17, but he has gone to the coaching staff and willingly is taking on a leadership role and has offered to help out Connor McDavid in any way he can.
Yeah, they've billeted together, and in anticipation that they might get McDavid, went to the coaching staff at the end of last year and said, hey, I want to help out.
Couple of chances for the Knights, and it's Josh Anderson hanging on to that puck. Zadorov, the big 6'5" defenseman, Russian import, jumping into the play. Max Domi comes out of the corner, out of the reach of Seth Griffith. Griffith content to send it back to Big Zadorov. He gets the return fee. Griffith, the pass to Broadhurst. It just went under his stick. Got to dance. And dance hangs on. Josh Anderson shows some strength. A good backhand, too, to put the Knights up by 2. On his skates, working against Ryan Rupert. Abraham pinches in from the point. Connor Brown, the newly anointed captain of the Otters, knocked down. He's right back up. Ole Mata smoothly behind his own net. Pass right to Wolichka. One-on-one against Abraham, and Abraham comes up with the puck. Tyler Ferry, lead pass. That gets past Wolichka. Abraham takes a hit from Ryan Rupert. Alex pass picked off by Matt Rupert. Still inside the offensive zone is Wolichka. He's on it. Wolichka comes out of the corner. Abraham makes sure he stays wide. Connor McDavid and Ryan Rupert bump behind the net. Now Matt Rupert, the twins from Grand Bend, trying to make a little something happen. Ryan Rupert drops it off for twin brother Matt. Matt's the goal scorer between the two so far. He has 4. Ryan Rupert looking for his first goal of the season.
And you can bet they're fighting and arguing about that the whole year.
Notice Matt still missing the front tooth. They choked around last year. They played on the line with Austin Watson, and Watson was apparently the one that accidentally knocked the tooth out in practice so he could tell the two apart.
Yeah, now that Watson's gone, maybe the one will ask the other if he can knock his teeth out so they can look the same again. Now, an interesting situation with Kevin Bailey, the goaltender for the London Knights. And when you talk about Bailey, a very highly touted goalie coming into the league as a first-round pick of the Oshawa Generals, but has always had someone leaning over his shoulder or looking over him, and has never really been able to establish himself as a #1 guy. Coming here to London, knowing he's the guy, has played every minute so far, he should gain and glean confidence from that, and I'll be very interested in following his progress throughout the course of this season.
And filling the skates of Michael Hauser, the CHL Goalie of the Year. Certainly not easy to do, but he's been solid so far. Here are the top scorers, brought to you by Prestone. Don't let winter be the death of your car. Visit Prestone.com for winter driving tips.
Well, I was in Barrie last night and watching Mark Scheifele's 6-point night to put him in the lead with 19 points. Zach Hall also had 6 points for the Barrie Colts in that game. Power play 5 for 8 for Dale Howard-Chuck's Colts. You go down the list, Anthony Kamara in there, and so Barrie really starting to turn it up. They've won 8 straight here in the Ontario Hockey League.
Barrie might be okay if that NHL lockout continues. The way Scheifele's playing.
Because if it ends, you know where he's going. Straight to Winnipeg.
Travis Wood over to Stephen Harper. Sharp angle shot. That was stopped by Bailey, and Josh Anderson has one of the night's goals. He's been skating well. Jimmy McDowell took the puck away. Tierney following up. McDowell has it again. Adam Pellet, part of Canada's contingent in the Canada-Russia Challenge this past summer, which basically replaced the summer development camp for Team Canada for the World Juniors.
Well, this Erie Otters team, you look at Travis Wood, who was actually playing in Minnesota, and they found out that he was from Wisconsin. So in Minnesota, he would have been property of the Western Hockey League, or eligible to play in the Western Hockey League, but because he was born in Wisconsin, actually eligible to play in the Ontario Hockey League. Some good due diligence there by Sherry Basson to get Wood to come to Erie.
Zadorov sends that one down the ice, and it will go for an icing charge to the Knights.
Even at 5-3, I think you'd expect this London Knights team to be, you know, a 6-2 team, a 7-1 team, but it's so when you've got that target on your back and you're the defending champ.
Neither Edmonton nor London off to terrible starts, as you mentioned, but
not
those
terrible
expectations.
That's right.
A 5-3, and last week Edmonton was 5-2-1, and then they lost that game in a shootout, and all of a sudden people are wondering if they'll regain that form. Talking to Mark Hunter before the game, asking about some of the guys that were missing. Austin Watson, Greg McKay, Vladislav Nemesnikov, Jared Knight, Jared Tenorti, Michael Hauser. He said those holes will be filled as time goes on, so there's absolutely no panic on the Knights side.
Yeah, and the big guy there, that's Michael Hauser. When you look at the Ontario Hockey League MVP, played almost every game for the Knights last year.
Well, it's got some hard work to get the puck ahead. Nathan Glass, 18-year-old native of Florida. Now it's Connor Brown, that 6th-round pick of the Maple Leafs. Put it on goal. Bailey had no trouble with it.
6 players were selected in the National Hockey League draft off of that club. Andreas Athanasiou no longer with the club and in Barrie, but 5 of them still remain here as drafted players in the 2012 NHL draft.
Connor McDavid working down low, gets it to Connor Brown. Stick of Tommy Hughes blocked that pass. Donne keeps it deep. McDavid, a quick pass. Mata lost it for a second, then batted it away. Into the final minute of this first period. McDavid, he's had Mata all over his fast ship. Donne lobs one, and that's blockered aside by Bailey. Abraham comes down to keep it in. Works against Ryan Rupert. Open side, the 6'7" defenseman gets there first, deflected, scores! J.P. Lombardo right there to pick up the scraps and bring the Otters within one.
And it goes back to the point, Donnet, who I think can really shoot the puck, but he eases up on a couple of shots. Here's the second one. McDavid will get a little piece of it. He'll slow it down, and then it gets tapped over to Lombardo thereafter. And from there, Lombardo is able to backhand it in and bring the Erie Otters to within a goal. But again, that presence in front of the net of Connor McDavid able to slow that puck down, that created a bit of a scramble for Lombardo to pick up the trash.
And Lombardo knows where the camera is for the celebration. Last 30 seconds of the first.
Erie goal is the goal of the season. Score number 22, J.E. Lombardo.
Chris Tierney picks up speed behind his own goal. Puts one in. Oscar Dansk will catch that, and he'll get the whistle.
So much hype about the 15-year-old Connor McDavid, number 97 for the Erie Otters. Watch him park himself in front of the net here. He's able to get that stick on it, and because he's able to do that, Bailey can't make that clean stop. And now the rebound comes right out. Lombardo's there to bang it home.
Bo Horvat gets it in front, just out of the reach of Josh Anderson. Adam Pelech moves it ahead. Last couple of seconds, it won't be icing, and there is the horn. The Knights have a 2-1 lead, but Connor McDavid puts on a performance in that first period, extends his point streak to 10 games.
What a great free agent signing he was by Mark Hunter. And that's what we talked about in that first period. With Dale Hunter going back behind the bench, it allows Mark Hunter to go out and find guys like Josh Anderson. Imagine getting a fourth-round NHL pick as a free agent signee. And so for Josh Anderson, things have really come to fruition over the course of last year. Learning as a young player in the system, and now he's one of those guys who's going to be leaned upon in a production role.
Had a big goal in that first period. It's 2-1 as we start the second on Friday Night Hockey. Connor McDavid is out there for the Erie Otters. Had a chance to talk to the general manager of the Otters, Sherry Basson, during the intermission, and he was talking more about Connor McDavid. Said it's not an accident. He's the last guy off the ice at all times, every practice. He works at his craft and is passionate about hockey. Anderson has a stride here on Abraham, and a well-played defensive stick by the 19-year-old. Another good play by Abraham in front of his net to knock that rebound away. Lombardo chips one out to center. Scott Harrington over to Hughes. That one's picked off by McDavid. Connor McDavid coming in on Scott Harrington. Not an easy customer to walk around, and Harrington wins that battle.
Yeah, welcome to what it's like to be an NHL draftee.
Scott Harrington, property of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Penguins like this Knights defense. Also took Ole Mata in the first round in this past draft.
22nd overall, and many people think he was a steal going that late in the first.
Well, he's the guy that's going to have to start providing some offense from this London Knights blue line. They have just one goal from their defensive core so far this season. That's from Tommy Hughes, maybe an unlikely candidate to score.
I want to talk a little bit, RJ, about Oscar Dansk. And one thing they've been working with him on is coming out and challenging the shooters more. And you can see there, probably in that situation with the defenseman there back to help him out, probably acceptable to be a little further out in challenging that shooter. That's something that Peter Sidorowicz, the assistant coach here in Erie, has been working hard with Dansk.
Max Domi trying to make a little something happen. Stepped in at the line. Tyler Ferry's shot blocked. Stays on it. Hayden Hodgson, one of those 16-year-olds. He's working hard to get the puck out. Now he's going to find himself in the penalty box.
Alex Broadhurst played in the USHL the last couple of years with the Green Bay Gamblers and had almost a point per game over the last 2 seasons. Comes over to the Ontario Hockey League here this year. And one thing Dale Hunter told us before the game is that he's really shifty. He's got good hands, and you can see the escapability there, forcing Hodgson into the tripping call.
Second power play of the game for the Knights. 0 for 1, almost got their first power play marker. Welichka put it off the post. Ole Mata with the puck now. He'll quarterback this power play. Mata, the import from Finland, gets it to Bo Horvat. He's drafted eligible this year. A chance for Seth Griffiths. Dansk didn't look like he saw it, but it hit him. Mata doesn't shoot. Now he lofts one toward the net that missed. Horvat Moves it over to Seth Griffith. Griffith slows things down. Down low to Max Domi. Domi can't get a shot. Walking in front. Tried to tuck one in tight upstairs, and it was blocked by Dansk and sent down the ice by Evans.
This London Knights power play really going to work here, and Domi's going to end up with the penalty on the play. It's a slashing call, frustrated by not scoring. And so Domi negates this power play. Here it is off the draw. Griffith wins it, goes point to point. Look at Walichka. He's already slid into that position at the top of the far circle, and wiring the one-timer is able to hit the post. Another good chance for Seth Griffith thereafter, and then as the play went back towards the London end, Max Domi behind the play takes a slashing call, and things are negated here, even at 4 side.
A lot of sophomores up front on this 4-on-4. Chris Tierney and Josh Anderson for the Knights. Connor Brown, he'll be combined with the exceptional player, 15-year-old Connor McDavid. Tommy Hughes chases it down inside his own zone. Moves it ahead to Anderson. Tierney in full flight. Comes in over the Otters line. Tierney has it knocked off his stick by Jimmy McDowell. In to help out is Anderson. He's used that reach in those tight quarters to create some space. Connor McDavid leads the rush for Erie. McDowell can't get a shot. There's that reach of Anderson coming through in the defensive zone. Don A, no lane to the net. Leaves it for Connor Brown. This is picked off by Ryan Rupert. Ryan Rupert with a little skating room. Anderson staying out there with him. Rupert tries to take it to the net and can't get around McDowell.
A solid play by McDowell. Wasn't being peeked out at all by Rupert. Took the man, separated him from the puck.
Matt Rupert. He's got a stride on glass, a chance to go to the net. Dansk held his ground on the short side. Matt Rupert trying to work out of the corner. Moves it in behind. That's picked off by Stephen Harper. He gets it past Ryan Rupert, and the lead pass out to center to Luke Cairns. Cairns knocked off his stick by Matt, and the puck's bouncing around in front of that night zone. Pellick a shot. That's off of shin pad. Hayden Hodgson. 22 seconds to go in a short power play here for Erie. Harper in the corner. Not much time to get something to the net. Pellick, he doesn't have a lane. Cairns, now maybe Pellick can get a shot. Not this time. Cairns down low. Pellick, there's the shot, there's the goal. A power play goal with 3 seconds to go and the man advantage, and the Otters have tied it at 2.
Blistering shot by Pellick, who, when you look at him and his future in the National Hockey League, is not likely to be a power play guy. But on this young Erie Otters team, he's been given that freedom and given a ton of minutes here with the extra man. You'll see on the left side of your screen, Spencer Abraham's able to sneak down. And as he curls back up, Pellick takes it towards the middle of the ice, lets it fly, and hand it in front of the net. Not so sure it didn't hit something on the way through. But in the meantime, Pellick will get credited with the power play goal, his second of the year.
Erie Otters fell behind 2-0, but they have weathered the storm and have evened this game. Adam Rustool. Line hasn't been used much for the Knights. Kyle Platzer throws it to the short side, and Remy Ellie got a great scoring chance, but Dansk was there.
Take you back to this Adam Pellick power play goal. And you'll see the pass back to the point. Pellick has things loaded up. And as it goes through, it's definitely tipped in front of the net, and I'm not sure exactly who got their stick on it. It might have been Ole Mata.
Erie goal is a power play goal. Second goal of the season. Score number 27, Adam Pellick.
Travis Wood trying to come in over the line as his stick knocked out of his hands by Rustool, and he will get a slash and a trip to the penalty box for his efforts.
It's been the oh-so-popular call the last couple of years in the NHL when they were playing across the Canadian Hockey League. That stick-on-stick contact no longer tolerated. And back in the old days, that used to be a staple. And here it's Wood who has his stick slashed out of his hands by Adam Rustool, and another power play for the Erie Otters.
Erie, despite a short power play, was able to score on their initial opportunity. Adam Pellick, the man with the puck, the man credited with the goal so far. Islanders draft pick. Connor Brown 25 goals last season in his rookie campaign. Connor McDavid leaves it for J.P. Labardo. McDavid takes it to the net, backs off. Pelech over to Abraham, snaps one toward the net. Picked up by Labardo. Lone overager in this Erie Otters line. Slows things down. Labardo drops it off for McDavid. Puck bounces over his stick. Hughes was diving to block the pass, and the Knights get it up. That long change in the second period, and Dansk tries to prevent a wholesale change for the penalty killers. Connor McDavid. Labardo, one-touch pass. Pelech, his shot is blocked by Bo Horvat. Labardo keeps possession. 50 seconds to go in the power play. Pelech walks the line, drops it off for McDavid. Right back to Pelech. Shot. Off the backboards, goes straight to McDavid. Labardo surveys the situation. Pelech's open. Right back to Labardo. There's a snapshot, blocked by Bailey. The rebound came right back to him, and he hangs on.
Good job by this London Knights still to keep Erie to the perimeter. And you can see, and they know very well that the plan is to get it back to Pelech, either to use that booming shot or distribute the puck. So every time it comes back to Pelech, he has to get it back down onto the half wall, and that's where Labardo and McDavid have had their exchanges. But a weak shot here from the top of the circle stopped easily by Bailey.
20 seconds to go in the power play. Jimmy McDowell starts from behind his own goal. McDowell off the boards. He'll have to chase it himself. Everybody else is stopped at the line. Now a one-on-one. Chris Tierney takes a Long Island. It's all him against Stephen Harper, a forward back there for Erie. Harper played him pretty well. Tierney stays with it, killing off the last few seconds of this power play.
It's backtracked by Tierney.
Westwood back on the ice. Knights back to full strength, and we remain tied. Hayden Hodgson a shot, and that's absorbed by Bailey. The Erie Otters, a young team and a resilient team. They battled back to even this game at 2. Well, it has worked for the Knights. Got them an OHL championship and trying to find their groove, but they're in top tonight against the Erie Otters. Can't stress enough what a nucleus this Erie Otters team has. Their top 4 picks from this past draft are all in the lineup.
That's being thrown into the fire.
Well, they're willing to take their lumps and get these guys some experience. And we've seen Connor McDavid. There's no way you'd think he's a 15-year-old the way he plays.
Yeah, exciting player to watch. And there is a reason why it's called exceptional status. He's an exceptional player.
He's out there now. J.P. Labardo hits a shot that's blocked by Harrington. Donne let one go. Bailey stumbling around. Bailey able to settle that puck down behind the net, and Tommy Hughes waves it for Chris Tierney. Tierney, property of the San Jose Sharks, has some speed, able to go wide, cuts to the net, Dance to save, and knocked to the corner by McDowell.
Anyone who would listen to Mark and Dale Hunter last year said that Tierney would be a high-end pick, and he was a second rounder to San Jose.
J.P. Labardo working hard down low against Kevin Rain. Jimmy McDowell, the defenseman, pinching in to help out. Stephen Harper steals the puck, puts it in front. Rain knocks it to the corner and chases after it himself. He'll fire it down, and that is icing against the Knights. The play of the first period brought to you by the Steak Chili Saves for Success program, where saves made by OHL and WHL goalies will contribute up to $30,000 to minor league hockey.
Well, you have to go to Max Domi. Seth Griffith finds Domi through that scene, who through the neutral zone turned it up a notch and looked as if he were shot out of a cannon. And for Domi, he just continues to score goals at a high pace. And there he is back out there, of course, the son of Ty Domi, and we saw Max Domi grow up last year. And don't forget, he deals with a pretty severe case of diabetes that he has to monitor extremely closely in terms of diet, rest, when to take the pedal off the metal, and every now and then the Hunters will give him a give him a blow and just say, here, take some time off. Don't come to the rink. Don't come to practice, and make sure you're good and healthy for the games.
Well, he's a personable young man. He's got one of those smiles that light up a room. Asking him before the game how he's feeling, talking about how great he feels, and he should. He's the only Knights player with a 9-game point streak. Here's Rob Falls.
Sam, yourself, myself, look forward to this every year. The Subway Super Series is back. The Russians will be facing off against the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, the Ontario Hockey League, the Western Hockey League. It begins November 5th in Blainville-Boisbriand, then to Val-d'Or, Ontario Hockey League on the 8th and 12th in Guelph and Sarnia, then wraps up against the WHL November 14th in Vancouver and the 15th in Victoria. All the games on Sportsnet. Go to the SubwaySuperSeries.ca for ticket information. We are definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, no question. Looking forward to getting out to the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. There's an uptick in that league this year in terms of 2013 NHL draft eligible players, and it all starts in Halifax with the trio of Jonathan Duran, Nathan McKinnon, and goaltender Zachary Furcali.
Now, we're talking so much in tonight's game about Connor McDavid, and Nathan McKinnon usually gets mentioned in a Friday night hockey broadcast. He will certainly be part of Team Quebec in the Subway Super Series. Matt Rupert, dangerous play there, but well played by the Swedish import goaltender at Columbus Blue Jackets prospect Oscar Dansk.
First pick in the second round to Columbus, and Oscar Dansk, they weren't sure if he was going to come over from Sweden or not, but has had some experience in North America. He came out of the Shattuck St. Mary's prep school program.
Scott Harrington, the new captain of the Knights, he got a shot off the face-off, and Dansk had to be careful there.
And that's the thing when we talk about Dansk, is learning to get back out in front of that crease and be at the top of the crease. And you'll see the save when he goes down, his pads, there's still blue ice between his pads and the front of the crease. And that's something that they want to try and eliminate just a little bit. You know, Peter Sidorkiewicz said, hey, on that big ice surface, you've got a little more time to read and react to the play. On the smaller ice surface here in North America, that's not the case, and so you have to get out and challenge shooters.
He's faced the second most shots in the Ontario Hockey League coming into tonight's game. Only Matt Murray of Sault Ste. Marie has faced more. Matt Rupert trying to put another one right on goal, and it's set down the ice by the Otters. Power play coming close for the Knights. Griffith's pass ahead to Harrington. He'll roll it in. Dansk stops it behind the net. Plays it along the boards. Ryan Rupert knocks it down. The two Ruperts out there with Broadhurst. Broadhurst moves it back to Griffith. Scott Harrington. Right back to Griffith. Waiting for it, Broadhurst. Down low, Ryan Rupert. And his pass gets by all the Knights and will go all the way down to Bailey.
A little disjointed, this Knights power play right now.
Only 5 seconds to go on the man advantage. Maybe one last chance. Ole Mattis jumped into the play. Smoothly cuts to the net. Now around it. It's in front. Knocked away. McDavid looking for it. Seth Griffith settles it down. And Connor Crisp out of the penalty box nearly picked it off. Griffith, he takes a shot, and no rebound as Dansk stops another one and hangs on. Otters and Knights tied at 2 on Friday Night Hockey. Knights win another face-off. Seth Griffith, property of the Boston Bruins. Trying to come out of the corner. He has an assist in the game. Alex Broadhurst. He has Pelech relentless on him, and Pelech able to get the puck out. Nikita Zadorov, Russian import, hit hard into the boards. Came in leading the Knights in plus-minus at +9. Zadorov, a pass to Broadhurst. He sends it back into his own zone, and Stephen Harper takes it away. Harper led all 95 born players in the OHL last season with 24 goals. He can be dangerous.
That's why it's important to get that first hit on Zadorov. The second time around, he released the puck quickly. It ended up in a turnover and another chance for Erie.
Seth Griffith, so composed with the puck. Brings it in, sends it deep. Max Domi waits for it. Domi stick handles, top of the slot, can't get a shot. We've seen he's got a good backhand. Scored the first goal of the game on that beauty. Domi poked off his stick by Abraham. Right there behind him is Broadhurst. Broadhurst to Domi in front of the net. That pass to Griffith deflected away, and Harper brings it to center. He needs a change. Broadhurst over the line. That's tough going. Josh Anderson tries to make a move. That's not going to happen around Adam Pellet. Scott Harrington. Big pass to Tierney. McDowell was right tight to him and takes it away. Hayden Hodgson. 16-year-old. Tries to move it ahead. Tough sledding out there now. Cairns drops it off for Hodgson. Into the skates of Crisp. He can't get a shot away, and here comes a 2-on-2. Bo Horvat and Josh Anderson. Horvat. The trailer's Tierney, and he's all tied up. A good defensive play by 16-year-old Hayden Hodgson.
Yeah, they really love him. Spoke so highly of him before the game. There's a good example of why. Good job on the backtrack by Hodgson.
Spencer Abraham, sharp angle. Bailey was tight to the post. Stopped the rebound, too, and finally was able to gather it in.
Couple of good chances as this game is starting to tighten down here a little bit in period number 2. We've talked all game long about 15-year-old Connor McDavid and how does he rate? Well, John Tavares, who's the first exceptional player allowed into the Ontario Hockey League in 05-06, finished with 77 points. Connor McDavid at 1.2 points per game pace, on pace for 82, so he's definitely in the neighborhood. You go back to Jason Spezza, and it wasn't called exceptional status then. The players, since it's been termed that, have been Aaron Ekblad last year and John Tavares going back to 05-06.
Well, they haven't missed on any of the guys they've granted the status to, and Aaron Ekblad, can't forget about him, with Barrie, big defenseman. He was, as a 15-year-old, Barrie's best defenseman, so he's got a bright future, too. Doesn't get the accolades as a defenseman, though.
It's a rigorous process. Psychological testing. Can the kid handle school? Physically, will he be able to handle it? All of those things are taken into consideration by an independent body, I might add.
Lombardo, he's out there with Connor Brown and Connor McDavid. Lombardo off the post. McDavid just couldn't shovel in the rebound. Erie has poured it on in the second half of the first period and carried it into the second. Connor McDavid out there again. And J.P. Lombardo has one of the goals, almost, and another one. .524 to go here in the second. We're tied at 2. Kevin Rain watched closely by Luke Cairns. Remy Ellie. Max Domi speeds in over the line. Drops it off for Ellie, 17-year-old rookie from Green Valley, Ontario. Speaking of rookies, Hodgson works hard to get that puck to center. Crisp and Rain go to the boards. Pass in front to Domi, just over his stick. Cairns trying to circle away from Ellie, gives it away to Domi. Domi on that backhand again, goes to the forehand, doesn't get a shot. Domi, another move. Held on to the puck for a while, but never did get that shot away, and then Pellick rifled that into the Knights bench.
Oh, man. That was an absolute bomb into the bench. And backup goalie, Jake Patterson, was there, and he had to be ready. You might want to consider throwing the mask on. Max Domi showing off some of the skill he has here. He makes a nifty spin-around play, and now he's got nowhere to go, and so he decides, I'm going to hang on to it, and as he hangs on to it, Pellick finally is able to separate him from the puck, but he made a really good pass earlier in the shift. You can see the kind of skill set he has, so quick with those hands.
Ole Mata, he gets a shot away, and that's right up into the breadbasket of dancing.
Ole Mata, 22nd overall pick to the Pittsburgh Penguins. He and Scott Harrington, a second rounder from a couple of years ago in the draft, anchored at back end now that Jared Tenorti has left the London Knights.
Tyler Ferry, safe play, just lots it out to center. It was hit with a high stick from Evans, and that face-off will come near the Otters zone.
I don't know. I thought that was waist high on that call.
Jake Evans is with you on that. Tried to argue the cause. Alex Broadhurst picks off the pass from Abraham. Jimmy McDowell. That pass picked off by the Knights. Broadhurst comes in over the line. Broadhurst, a backhand up high on Dansky. Has 7 points in 8 games. Another chance for Broadhurst, and that one didn't get to the net. 17-year-old rookie Kyle Platzer moves it back to Ferry. Takes the return feed. Platzer's shot is off a stick and goes up on a play.
Oscar Dance getting used to life in the Ontario Hockey League. Erie, one of the more traveled teams in the loop. And for Dance, last night playing in Windsor, stopped 45 of 47 in a 2-1 loss to the Windsor Spitfires. And so it looks as if Dansk is starting to round into form. And I think the Erie Otters are hoping to get from Dansk that second-round pick type of goaltending, because they know they have a young team and they know that their defense is going to falter every now and then. But Robbie Ftorek thinking, hey, if we can get this guy to play like the way he can, then we should be able to have a chance on most nights.
Well, he was rock solid last night. In fact, Windsor had a 7-minute power play. Adam Pelech came in to protect one of the 16-year-olds on the club and wound up taking a fighting major and an instigator, and that's where we posted their goals, and Erie wound up losing the game 2-1.
But that's part of the culture change in Erie that's starting to happen now. And you look at Pelech, immediately after Patrick Seeloff hit Hayden Hodgson, Pelech skated from about 30 feet away and said, you're not going to take advantage of our younger players like that. And, you know, you never want to see that in the game of hockey, but you also want to see your teammates sticking up for one another. And that was a perfect example of it for Pelech there. I mean, it was like he had butter in the gloves. They were off in a hurry, and he let Seeloff know that you're not going to take a run at our 16-year-old player and get away with it.
Even though he's the best defenseman on the club, he still did the job he had to do, and he was out of the game. So it was a tough goal for Erie last night, and they hung close to Windsor, but were outshot by almost double. So Oscar Dance, one of the reasons that Erie stayed in that game last night. He's been sharp here again. He's only allowed the 2 goals, both in the first period. Adam Rastool bumps his man. Matt Rupert comes up with it, redirected in front by Walichka, and right on cue, Dansk makes a big save.
Well, big hit there, and it's Hayden Hodgson who's on the wrong end of it. Again, it's a Malachi crunch between Zadorov and Matt Rupert. And you can see as the play starts to come off ice, the puck is turned over right here on another big hit. Connor Crisp goes to the ice, and that puck ends up luckily between the pads of Dance.
Only Matt will have to chase it with Travis Wood not far behind. Matta takes the hit. Tyler Ferry, he was a key contributor to that MasterCard Memorial Cup run for the London Knights. Defenseman, he played forward. Allowed Nemesnikov and Griffith to do their offense, and he was the one that worried about defense. Versatile player for the Knights. Kevin Bailey didn't like what he was seeing there with Cairns right there, so he hangs on.
Sportsnet has got hockey. American Hockey League action, a doubleheader tomorrow. Hamilton plays Toronto. That's at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time on East Ontario, West Pacific, and Sportsnet 1. And then Chicago against Abbotsford with John Garrett between the benches tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on Sportsnet 1, West and Pacific. That's right, Sportsnet has hockey.
Good one tonight on Friday Night Hockey. A lot of eyes on this man, 15-year-old Connor McDavid. Stick handling in a phone booth there. Not much room. Out against one of the best defensive defensemen in Scott Harrington. That reach of Josh Anderson has caused havoc for the Otters. Almost got another chance. Connor Brown has his pocket picked by Tierney. McDavid right there to take it away. McDavid picks up a little bit of speed over the line. Harrington stays with McDavid. Takes care of him behind the net.
The rookie and the vet.
Well, earlier this year, McDavid did score a goal, and he got wide on Harrington. So you can bet Scott Harrington has that one fresh in his mind. Zadorov with a crowd, short side. Dance got a piece of it. The puck still loose. Tierney gets it away from Pelech. Horvat, not much on that shot. Got to the front of the net, though. Pelech takes a whack at it. Erie batting at it. Finally comes out to center, and J.P. Lombardo has some speed. Doesn't have much help with him, though. Zadorov bumps him off the puck. Lead pass to Remieli. And well offside is Domi.
So you talk about that matchup between Connor McDavid, the 15-year-old, and the veteran 19-year-old Scott Harrington. And here's how the two matched up in a game earlier this year. And it's McDavid here with that good speed. You'll see Harrington gets caught flat-footed. He goes around him and is able to score one of 2 goals against the London Knights this year. And a pretty good celebration for the youngster.
And a long memory from Scott Harrington. He's played him tough tonight.
He has, and he's hit him at every turn.
Wood just moves it out to center. Barry stops it, gets a bump from Jake Evans. Prevents the puck from coming inside the Knights zone and maybe creates a chance. Ellie dropped it off. Thought he had gained the line, but the linesman saw it differently.
Just a little offside was Seth Griffin. And here's a guy last year who scores 45 goals, but some scouts were worried about his ability to skate at the National Hockey League level. But Boston finally said, that's enough. We can't ignore the fact this guy is such a prolific goal scorer. On a 5-game point streak right now, but he continues to fill the net for the London Knights.
16 points, playing in his 9th game of the season. He and Max Domi tied for the Knights scoring lead. Final 25 seconds of the second period. Cairns sends it in deep. Let's Harper chase after against Ole Manek. That has it pinned up against the boards, and Evans picks it loose. Pelech shot, a low one. Bailey stops it. The rebound knocked aside. Final 5 seconds. Evans just sends it out to the neutral zone. Cairns, his bench hollering at him to shoot, and he does. And after 2, we've got the third period, or maybe more, to decide this one on Friday Night Hockey. Budweiser Gardens, packed house, the site for Friday Night Hockey. London Knights trying to find their groove. 3-2 on home ice this season. Erie Otters just 1 win away from home. Period to decide this thing. Josh Anderson gets it over to Bo Horvat. That one's on net. No problem for Oscar Dansk, the Swedish import goaltender. Connor McDavid picks up a little bit of speed. Horvat tries to stay with him, and Josh Anderson gets in front of him. That's a team effort by the Knights to shut down the 15-year-old phenom. Chris Tierney. Sharks took him in the second round. Lead pass, bouncing puck, got over the stick of Horvat. Now he's in a battle with Pelech. Pelech, one hand on his stick. 2 Knights in there. Shot from a sharp angle from Anderson. The puck's loose. Horvat got a chance. Dansk was able to recover and made a couple of beauties.
A couple of really good chances here. The one thing I've noticed about Oscar Dansk is that once he gets down low, he does a really good job of covering the lower part of the net. He's got good flexibility. He's got good mobility to go post to post. And when he gets into that butterfly, he's got a large part of the net covered. There's the shot from Anderson. Now you see he's kind of in that butterfly stance. He's able to make 2 good saves against Bo Horvat.
Knights coming out flying in this third period. Now it's Brett Walichka. Walichka trying to cut short side. No room there. Travis Wood, 17-year-old from Wisconsin. It's knocked off his stick by Tyler Ferry. Ferry goes heavily into the boards, and as Evans comes over the line, Wood was just offside.
Big bump by Wood. On the wrong end of it. Him and Ferry both. There's Wood with the puck, and now he's able to just get Ferry off balance. And it wasn't so much a big hit as it was the fact that Ferry was off balance, and Wood pushed him the rest of the way.
Alex Broadhurst from Illinois moves it over to Seth Griffith. Zadorov tried to poke at it and keep it in. Couldn't do it. Broadhurst takes over, sends it back into the Knights. Griffith will trace after Spencer Abraham. Connor Crisp. His lead pass to Luke Cairns. Nicely picked up off the skate to the stick. Backhands it in front, and Hayden Hodgson almost got a stick on it. Crisp directs one on Bailey. No problem for him. Knocked it to the corner. Cairns has drawn a penalty. Got a shot away. And the Knights will be shorthanded.
Well, the Otters get ready to go on the power play. We want to remind you of the NFL on Sportsnet, and it will be busy. Jacksonville against Oakland Sunday at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on Sportsnet Ontario West and Pacific. And on Sportsnet and City TV, it's the Jets and New England. That goes at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on Sportsnet East and City TV on all City TVs.
Otters on the play, 1 for 2 with the man advantage in this game. Early in the third period, tie game, a chance for Erie to take the lead. Adam Pellick, lead pass to Abraham. He knew Tierney was right there, just directed it into the Knight zone. Connor McDavid along the boards, has it knocked away from him. Kept in momentarily, and then it bounces over the stick of Abraham, and the Otters have to regroup. Hughes hard along the boards. That's past everybody down the ice.
Really liked Hughes' game here tonight for the London Knights. He's really stepped up and now into that top 4 defensive role here for Dale Hunter.
Hughes, an overager, not flashy, but solid in his own zone. He was the guy that played with Ole Mata last season and was the guy that allowed Mata to jump into the play, and he'd stay back.
Hughes has been on the ice for almost all of Connor McDavid's shifts, and they've used Scott Harrington and Ole Mata interchangeably, but every time you see 97, pretty good chance you'll see Hughes out there for London.
Jimmy McDowell, 19-year-old defenseman, brings it in over the line, maintains possession. Stephen Harper. That pass gets right between 2 Otters, and they'll have to try it again.
And I think this is a time where Erie can ill afford to kind of take things easy in this power play. I'd like to see a little more aggression, a little more intensity.
Luke Cairns. Stephen Harper. How about Jimmy McDowell? He's got time to shoot, doesn't. Harper does. It's blocked by Horvat.
Horvat limping his way to the bench, and the fans love it here at the Budweiser Garden.
Final few seconds of this power play. Down to 10 seconds, and Wood chasing it down inside his own zone. Pellick. Saucers one off the body of Wood. And Rain is standing up in the penalty box. And he's back on the ice. Knights back to full strength. Harper brings it over the Knights line. Knocked off his stick. Rupert ahead to Kyle Platzer. Rupert gets a shot. That's up high on the glass. Bouncing puck. Rupert spins. That's a blocked shot by Adam Pellick. Hughes circles inside his own end. Lead pass to Welichka. A little bit behind him. Knocked right back in by Hughes. Troy Donahue, the former London Knight. He came to Erie in the Greg McKaig trade last season. Kyle Platzer. Ahead to Anderson. A hard snapshot, and that one's gobbled up by Dansk.
If you want to get information on the Ontario Hockey League, Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and the Western Hockey League, scores, news, and much, much more, you go to sportsnet.ca. Visit our new junior hockey page for the latest information. You can check in with Patrick King, and from time to time, even our friend Sam Cosentino will post a blog there.
So much to talk about in the Canadian Hockey League, especially with the NHL lockout and how much of an impact it's had on things in the CHL.
Yeah, you covered a lot of ground in your last blog. A lot of topics in that. Very informative for CHL fans. Patrick King, always all over the top story. Mark Spector had a good story on Sportsnet.ca about Connor McDavid as well.
Lauren Brossois the week before.
Harper leading the rush for the Otters and makes a move right at the line. Went offside.
Well, Stephen Harper is one of those players who's wearing a letter now for Robbie Ftorek, but a guy who's got immense skill. And Robbie Ftorek told us before the game, he's at his best when he gets involved, when he plays a physical style of game. We haven't quite seen that edge here from Harper in this game, but once that switch turns on, he will be a highly sought-after player.
Ferry's pass doesn't find anyone, and the Knights be sent back into their own zone to that icing.
Things have really slowed down in this third period of play as both teams have battened down the hatches, if you will. Looking for those elusive 2 points here in the Ontario Hockey League's Western Conference.
Only 3 drafted players in the lineup for the Erie Otters. They were all taken in the 2012 draft. Adam Pelech by the Islanders, Connor Brown by the Maple Leafs, and Oscar Dance, the goaltender, by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Knights with a little more depth. Shot from the line doesn't get through. Wolichka tries to shovel it. Can't get it on goal. Luke Cairns drops it off. Chris tried to one-time it. Wasn't in a good spot. Got the shot. And Bailey taps his teammates in front of him as he hangs on for a whistle. Still tied at 2 on Friday Night Hockey.
All eyes on Erie's number 97. Connor McDavid, the 15-year-old, granted exceptional status into the Ontario Hockey League after being named the MVP of the OHL Cup. And there he is in the dressing room before the game, out on the ice, having fun with his teammates, and then starting to show off some of his skill. Speed, ability to protect the pucks, and creativity, although he was stopped there by Bailey. And then on the assist in the Lombardo goal in the final minute of the period, he showed up to camp with all this nice new equipment along with the rest of the drafted players for Erie, but he went out on the ice in his old stuff. And so they wondered, hey, what's going on here? You got shiny brand new stuff. Why aren't you wearing it? He said, listen, I haven't earned my spot on this team yet. Yes, I'm the first overall pick. Yes, I got shiny new stuff. But I'm just like every other drafted player in the Erie Otters, and I'm going to wear the same equipment they do until I make this hockey club. That's the kind of character this kid has.
And he was out there with the other 16-year-olds. Of course, he's 15, picking up the pucks after warm-ups, as most teams have their rookies do. So regardless of that exceptional status, he's one of the guys.
Yeah, he'll be carrying bags and all that kind of stuff once this bus leaves the Budweiser Gardens here tonight.
Spencer Abraham, 19-year-old defenseman, leaves it for another 19-year-old defenseman on the Otters, Jimmy McDowell. McDowell will start the rush. That lead pass. Lombardo can't handle it. McDavid chases after it. Hughes sends it all the way down the ice. And the Knights will get charged with icing.
The Whitecaps FC on Sportsnet. Vancouver against Portland. You can see it Sunday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time on Sportsnet 1. Whitecaps FC on Sportsnet.
Shots are 31-27 for the Erie Otters, and coaching continues on Connor McDavid.
And the animated Robbie Ftorek. A lot of that can happen this year for the youngster as he continues to adjust to life in the Ontario Hockey League.
Cairns, he takes a shot. Rain got the position, went off his leg. Rain behind his net, gets away from Connor Crisp. And Cairns, he got the puck out to center.
Just banged up on that shift. But no more banged up than when he had to play goal last year for the Erie Otters in an emergency replacement situation.
Max Domi picking up speed over the line, takes a shot, and a big glove saved by Dansk.
Talk about draft-eligible players this year for the 2013 draft, and NHL scouts think it's a good one. You start with Seth Jones in Portland, you go to in the West, and Nathan McKinnon in the East, but so many eyes turned on Max Domi this year. A little bit of speed and a good hard shot on the fly, but a stop there by Dansk to take it away from the son of Todd.
Ole Mata pokes it to the corner. Brett Wolichka. That goes off the raft. Nathan Glass a chance to get it out, and he does. Glass just gets out of a hit. The freight train of Matt Rupert had him in the sights.
Things definitely have slowed down in this third period of play. When you look at a bunch of picks, 6 of them, 5 of them still remaining with the London Knights in the 2012 draft. And Bo Horvat, 53, Max Domi, 16, right there in the center of your screen for London. Expected to be first-round picks this year.
Josh Anderson, he might have a chance here. Anderson walking in on Abraham, and Abraham prevented him from getting a shot. Abraham has been steady back there for the Erie Otters.
Yeah, and again, not spectacular, but really comes from a very solid defensive system with the Brampton Battalion and Stan Butler. And he's been a really nice add here for the Erie Otters.
Now, Sherry Basson, the GM of the Otters, has said he will get some older players, but not just anyone. He's really making sure he sees all the teams and gets the right guys who will be a good fit with this young club.
And of course, other GMs know that he's looking for guys too, so they're going to try and fleece him a little in the deal and try and get the better end of the deal. So Basson definitely doing his due diligence.
Chris Tierney, 3 Knights coming over the line. Tierney leading the rush, drops it off for Anderson. That shot is blocked by Pellick. Pellick slow to get up, looks like he's grabbing that right forearm.
He's such a warrior, though. Under 17s for Ontario, under 18s, it doesn't matter for this guy.
Well, he had a wrist injury at the start of last season. Maybe is why he lasted all the way to the 3rd round for the Islanders in the draft.
Forced him to miss 20 games, that wrist injury, and you're right. I think that set him back at least 1 round. Still not afraid to go with it again, and you can see the trainer there, and Pellick's just going to try and shake this thing off as he looks down at his right wrist. Tierney and Anderson working down low along with Bo Horvat. Pellick gets in the way of it with that right wrist, and those short cuff gloves might have played a little piece in that.
What a block, an important block at an important time. Tie game midway through the 3rd, a great scoring opportunity, and that's when you need those defensemen to come up big, sacrificing the body. Stephen Harper starting things off in his own zone. That play broken up by Olli Mata. Ryan Rupert to Wolichka. Not much room to work there. Matt Rupert a shot, and he didn't miss by much. Donnie's lead pass too far for Harper, and we'll have another whistle. Otters ice the puck. We're looking for a go-ahead goal on Friday night hockey.
Pretty good battle between these 2 young stars. Each with a point, each +1.
We expected they'd play a factor in this, and still a little bit of this story to be told. Tied at 2, second half of the 3rd. Olli Mata can't get that puck out. Wolichka chases after it behind his own goal, but Ferry will send it around. Ryan Rupert. Rupert's have been a little bit quiet, and Ryan Rupert takes a run at Travis Wood. Shot from McDowell. That was a sinker, and Bailey sprawled to make the save.
Knuckleball and moving all over the place. Stopped by Bailey. What was a tough one?
Harper's lead pass, waiting for it at center was Jake Evans. Little touch into the London zone. He heads off for a change. Josh Anderson. JP Lombardo moves it ahead. There's Connor McDavid. McDavid has to deal with Anderson. He's been a force in this game.
Yeah, starting to play that typical power forward role.
Scott Harrington jumps into the play. Harrington, as the puck bounce on him, he doesn't get a shot. In front, Tierney a crack at it. Dance kicked it aside. Bo Horvat going after it. Pellick pins him up against the boards. Lombardo doesn't get it out. Tierney sends it in deep. Horvat's down there. He's dealing with Pellick again. Horvat, draft eligible this season. Tierney, no-look pass. Tried to find Anderson. It was knocked away by Glass. Not out, though. Horvat. Quick Tierney. Right back to Horvat. Gets a shot, and that's deflected up and out of play. Here's Rob.
The Travelodge Fan Face-Off is on, where every week we ask you, the fans, to compete against each other by answering a question on Twitter using #FanFaceoff. And you can win a Travelodge Canada gift card. This week's question is, which CHL team has the greatest fans? Ooh, that will spark debate. Travelodge will pick and announce a winner the Monday after each game through Twitter. Travelodge, proud partner of the CHL.
Knights have been putting on some pressure. Broadhurst to Seth Griffith. Griffith and Domi tied for the team lead in points. They're both out there now. Domi drops it off for Griffith. Puck goes in the air. Griffith battling hard, and the Otters content just to send it down the ice and get that whistle.
The National Hockey League locked out, and you see so many of those players around the Canadian Hockey League working out with their local junior teams. So there's Drew Doughty. He and Corey Perry have spent a lot of time with this London Knights team. And what the coaches like about it is the fact that, hey, these guys can teach from a different level from where the coaches come from and from a different voice. And sometimes it's able to sink in. And there's Chris Campoli, the former Erie Otter, in attendance here tonight, speaking with Sherry Basson and Dave Brown, the assistant general manager, in between periods, and probably giving them some intelligence. So National Hockey Leaguers, they love the game so much. They don't like being locked out, but still able to donate their time to their local CHL team.
Luke Cairns comes over the line. He's checked by Broadhurst. Broadhurst with a bit of speed. Broadhurst cuts in, takes the shot, gains the save. Big rebound. Cairns is there to get it for Erie. Bouncing puck. Mata directs it toward his defense partner, but Stephen Harper takes it away. Harper causing some havoc back there. Max Domi comes to help out. Lofts one to the line. Donne at 6'7" keeps it in, but puts that well high. Donne keeps another one in. Barry, who was blocked on either side. Crisp knocked that one down, and Broadhurst skates it to center. Domi comes in, tried to go south and put it up high. Too high, and that face-off becomes outside.
Boy, a couple of big bumps on the play. Troy Donne, the big 6'7" defenseman and former London Knight, getting in on the action, and Domi almost with the go-ahead goal for these London Knights. But when I look at this Erie Otters team, it's the ability to try and close out games. And here you've got London. There's that big hit. Now if you're Donne, you got to get back in the play. The puck for Domi, who went just a little high trying to get by Dance. But this is an Erie Otters team that over the last couple of years has really struggled. And the ability in the third period to close out games is part of a culture change. It's part of believing yourself. It's part of confidence. And all of those elements have to be present for this young squad here if they want to take that next step forward.
It was ruled that puck went off, and Otters to the face-off in deep. Knights trying to make something happen with it. Rain puts one right on goal. Dansky's been sharp. Glass, a long lead pass. That's just redirected into the Knights' end. 6 minutes to go here in the third. We're tied at 2 on Friday Night Hockey. Ryan Rupert, 6th-round pick for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Doing it himself, and that shot off his stick and goes up over the glass. Who will be the hero on Friday Night Hockey? It's crunch time now. The game review brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
Less than a minute in, Domi gets a goal in the first shot of the game. Is Connor McDavid ready? Yeah, I believe so. 10-game point streak to prove it. And Oscar Dansky, you know he's going to see a lot of rubber this year. Saw 47 shots last night, stopped 45 of them. And for the 9th time in 10 games, more than 30 shots, 30 or more shots have been fired his way.
Might get that to 40. Still 5:54 to go here in the third period. Knights have spent a lot of time in this Otters zone of late. Tierney working hard behind the net. Taken away by McDavid. Showing he can play inside his own zone, too. Josh Anderson, fourth-round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. He has been effective. Hustling it. Put it toward the front of the net. Tierney has it. Tierney drops it off for Horvat. Not much room to get to the front of the net. McDavid staying with him. Abraham circles away from Horvat, trying to find a little bit of open ice to make a play. Gives it away. Hughes moved it in, but he's not going to get caught. He gets back right away. Saw Connor Brown hovering behind him.
You got to have a closer gap in these tight games between your forwards and your defensemen. The gap's got to be closer in your own zone so that the defensemen don't have to make that long pass.
Anderson in front of the net, knocked out of midair by Tierney, and he got a shot. Dance stopped it. Anderson stopped two by Oscar Dance.
Isn't that something?
What eye-hand coordination. A couple of good saves there, too. Buzz at Budweiser Gardens after a couple of good chances for the Knights. Broadhurst off the board, sends it into the Otters end. Stephen Harper back there, drops it off. Adam Pelech chases it down. Property of the New York Islanders. Pelech a little bit of skating room. Just rolls into the Knights end. Ole Mata off the glass, down the ice. Does this have enough in it to be icing? Not quite. Nathan Glass, 18-year-old from Florida, slowing it down behind his net. Ahead to Travis Wood. Wood stumbles as he comes to the line, able to get up. Knocks that one down out of midair. Looking for crisp down low. Ferry picked it off. Got it to the line. Not out. Donne was there. Now it's batted out by Ferry. Jake Evans stick handling through center. Shot. Bailey leaves it there for Mata. Seth Griffin over the line. Broadhurst front of the net. Rupert was there, but couldn't get a shot away, and he went barreling into the net. Still in front. Seth Griffin. Stick handles. No shot yet from Griffith. Keeping possession. Rain. Over to Zadorov. Behind the net, Ryan Rupert. Rupert drops it off. Broadhurst. Griffith. Rolls it into the corner. Hudson. That won't get out. Zadorov over the Rain. He's got a room to shoot. Wrist shot. Rebound. That's off the post. Rupert started raising his stick. Rain another shot. That one's blocked. London all over the Otters. Can't get that goal. A chance here for Hudson. His shot. Blocked by Rain. That didn't get to the net.
How about Oscar Dance starting to play like the 31st overall pick in last year's draft. 45 saves last night and brilliant here in the third for Erie.
Columbus Blue Jackets made him the first pick of the second round. He's been outstanding. He'll be tested again. Anderson. Every time he's been out there, he's been making things happen. This one blocked and hung on to by Oscar Dansk.
And Dansk has been pelted here in this third period of play. And it starts with a brilliant hand-eye play by Tierney. Knocks it flat and then still in the air, knocks it towards Dansk. Anderson would get another opportunity. And then down low, Rupert and Griffith working with Broadhurst, and they cannot get it by Oscar Dance, who now has 33 saves in this game. And I think a well-called timeout here.
Erie Otters call the timeout. Oscar Dance. He's been sharp, and he will be tested. It has been a lot of the Knights here late in the third, putting the pressure on. While we have a moment, let's check in again with Rob.
One of the great stories last year in the Canadian Hockey League was the performance of Blainville, Boisbriand, the Armada. And they are in action on Friday night hockey, facing Danny Flynn's Moncton Wildcats. That's right, we'll see the East Coast Sedines when Moncton plays in Blainville next Friday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time on East Ontario, West, and Pacific.
The Saulniers, Alex and Alain Saulnier. And you got to look at Oscar Dansk with his 33 saves here tonight. On the 23rd, he was taken in the first pick in the second round by the Columbus Blue Jackets. And a couple of days later, the third overall pick in the Canadian Hockey League import draft. And big piece to this Erie Otters puzzle.
JP Lombardo just tried to flip one ahead and winds up flipping it out of play.
Lombardo came over in a trade from the Oshawa Generals and shooting against his former goaltender, Kevin Bailey. And no doubt Lombardo will see a lot of time. Picked up Erie's first goal in this game in the final minute of that first period of play. And because he's the lone overager, a lot of responsibility falling on his shoulders.
McDavid wins the face-off, but Horvat pounces all over it until he's knocked down by Pelech. Josh Anderson seems to have another gear out there.
I think that was one thing that maybe had scouts back away a little bit. Again, that skating ability, but whatever he did in the summer, it worked.
It did, Evan.
He's been dynamite tonight.
Horvat gets it to center. Lombardo all over him. Tierney stick handles his way in. Tierney wants in. Pad save, rebound. Lombardo might have stopped that from going in the far side, and the Otters clear. What a chance again for the Knights.
Just kicking themselves right now for 4 or 5 grade A opportunities for London in this third period alone.
Scott Harrington, the new captain of the Knights. Lead pass and doesn't find anyone. Welichka saying he touched it. He's not going to win that argument.
Chris Tierney was taken in the second round by the San Jose Sharks, and you can see him pounding his stick in frustration because he had a golden opportunity. He's able to walk around Pelech, looking to go far, low blocker side, and then JP Lombardo is there to knock it out of the blue ice. And another good chance, some good quick hands by Tierney, whose confidence has grown by leaps and bounds here from last year to this.
Brett Welichka doesn't take a shot, gives to Matt Rupert. Domi sends it in deep, looking for Rupert. Abraham pokes it out of harm's way. Stephen Harper into the final minute of this third period. And that one goes off the linesman and puts Evans offside.
And here is a situation that if you're the Erie Otters, you don't want to give away any chances. You want to play a simple style of game. Just 47.6 seconds left, but you want to get pucks deep. You don't want to turn the puck over, especially in that neutral zone. We heard Peter Sidorkiewicz talk about it. He knows how Dale Hunter's team has that ability to really take advantage of pucks turned over in the neutral zone. Really, puck management should be the key here for Erie as this thing winds down.
Scott Harrington picks one off at his line, lofts it into the Erie zone. Who else comes up with it? Josh Anderson. He hasn't lost many puck battles. This line's been effective. Tierney goes back behind the net, cuts in front. Another chance. Dansk reaching for it, and Connor Brown, the captain, comes back to get the loose puck. And he comes away into that London Knights end with some speed. Anderson watched closely by Connor Brown, got it to center. Bouncing puck, final few seconds. Hughes just skates it to a safe spot and sends it in, and there it is. There's the buzzer. We need extra time on Friday Night Hockey.
Once again, here we are in week number 2. It's the second time we've gone past the regulation play. And another golden opportunity as Tierney is able to get by the youngster McDavid, cut it to the front of the net, get one whack at it, and then a second before he is literally tackled by Adam Pelech. And an effective line that includes Tierney, Anderson, and Bo Horvat here in this third period has given London its best chances to win the game in regulation, but not to be. Oscar Dansk, so strong in there and very, very good down low. Makes 36 saves through regulation, and we'll have some extra time to try and decide it now.
Dansk faced 15 shots in the third period, stopped them all, and 4-on-4. Plenty of open ice for these dynamic players in this contest.
This overtime brought to you by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Here you look at the Erie Otters team, Robbie Ftork and Peter Sidorkiewicz doing the coaching down at the bench level. And the thing that if I'm in the position of the Erie Otters, here's what I want to see. You get into these situations, and I don't want to be playing a defensive style of hockey. I don't want to be playing just to hang on. I want to go out there and take some chances and try and win this hockey game. And I think that's how young teams learn to get better. Yeah, you're going to lose some playing that way, but you're also going to win some games where you take some chances, you be aggressive, as opposed to sitting back and allow the play to come to you. And oftentimes that's what will happen when you have an experienced team like London against a younger team like Erie. And we'll see how this thing plays out if Erie sits back and plays a conservative style or if they forge forward.
Well, Robbie Ftorek goes with a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old up front.
How about that, eh?
16-year-old Hayden Hodgson trying to dig the puck loose. He's got Connor McDavid with him. McDavid gets it back to glass. That one's blocked by Ryan Rupert and goes all the way into the Erie end.
I like that. This is going to be your core going forward. So you know what? Kids, get out there and try and figure out a way to win this thing.
Adam Pelech, rock solid for the Erie Otters. Slowly to center. Doesn't get that one deep. Picked off by Wolichka, but Connor McDavid steals it and just misses. Wouldn't that have been a storybook ending to this Friday night hockey broadcast?
Well, that's why he's out there.
Stephen Harper. He's bumped by Hughes. He won't be going anywhere. Pinned up against the boards. Ryan Rupert trying to speed away to center. Everybody back for Erie. Spencer Abraham has some skating room. Knight's trying to get a change in up front. Abraham over the line, just dumps it in. Barry leaves it for Ole Matt. Matt, a first-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Just dumps it deep. Max Domi goes after it behind the net. Threw it in front. Nobody there for London. And it'll come back into the night zone.
I don't think I'm a huge fan of the dumped-in 4-on-4. I think it's way too easy to get the puck turned over. I want to see my guys carry it.
Griffith had that hard pass go off his skate, and it goes all the way up over the glass on a play.
Best chance in this overtime frame has to be 15-year-old Connor McDavid, and what looks like an innocent play, chops down on Wolichka's stick, and then has the presence of mind to use his body to protect it, the puck from Harrington, and actually gets a good shot off that just misses low glove side on Bailey. That close to ending it. What a quick stick he has.
Josh Anderson came up with a puck and made a little move at the line. Horvat couldn't stay onside.
You'll get that every now and then when you're trying to carry pucks in. And Josh Anderson deserving of these minutes here in the extra frame because of how well he's played throughout regulation.
Jimmy McDowell behind his own goal. 3 minutes to go in this overtime. Connor Brown, 25 goals last season in his rookie campaign. Now the captain of the Erie Otters.
Yeah, there used to be a captain there by the name of Ryan O'Reilly, who at 18 years old was the captain. He didn't last long. Gone as a second-round pick to the National Hockey League with Colorado.
Josh Anderson, he makes a move, picks up speed. Anderson in front off the skate of Horvat. Anderson using that reach. Finally, Pelech just skates away from him.
Take it.
Connor McDavid walks in to the night zone. Takes it to the corner. Leaves it at the point for Abraham. Abraham with some traffic. That shot goes off Tyler Ferry, and it's out of play.
You could look at Abraham, who's seen a ton of ice here tonight. And, you know, when Sherry Bassam talks about adding one more defensive piece and probably an older player, it'll be to make Abraham more effective where he doesn't have to play in that 28-minute range a night. He can lessen his minutes maybe to 26 or 24.
Off the face-off, Hodgson. He got a great chance, and Bailey, who hasn't been busy in the third period and overtime, was tested there.
And there's Connor McDavid able to get this draw back to Hodgson. And again, the 15 and 16-year-old out there for Robbie Ftorek and Aiden Hodgson and Connor McDavid.
McDavid directs one toward the goal. Bailey able to stop it. Hughes all over McDavid. Bailey will come out, help his defenseman out. The open side is Matt Rupert. Doubles it to center. Nathan Glass jumps on it quickly and sends it right back into the Knights' end. Chris Tierney trying to skate away from Stephen Harper. Can't do it. Harper gets in front of him and takes the punt. Harper will go the other way. Got Lombardo up there with him. Harper keeps it in over the line. His shot off his stick and over the glass.
First-round pick the year before for the Erie Otters was Stephen Harper, and he does have that kind of ability. I mean, he rubs Tierney off the puck, and then all the way around the net circles the wagons and initiates the rush with that good speed he has.
Minute 20 to go in overtime. Holy Mata. He can't get away from Connor Brown, so he just stops. Over to Tyler Ferry. Mata, a little skating room now. He'll make the pass to Ferry. Ferry makes a dangerous move. Worked out. Got around Brown. Now he's into the Otters and takes a shot. A dangerous one. Blocked by Dansk. And now Dansk has stopped 92 of the last 96 shots he's faced.
Doesn't he look sharp, though? I mean, that's a good save with good rebound control to get that puck out of harm's way. And you'll see now he's confident. He's out square, top of the crease. Good use of the stick to clear the rebound away. And Oscar Dansk has been excellent once again here tonight for Erie.
18-year-old property of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Adam Pelech into the last minute of overtime. Cairns ahead to Connor Brown. Brown puts one deep. Troy Donay skates over, gets to it before Seth Griffith. Griffith along the boards, has Max Domi with him. Domi tracks it down, gets checked. Brown, property of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maybe a 2-on-1. Harrington getting back, and he didn't allow Cairns to go freely to the front of the net. Hughes has Brown nagging him. Dumps it into the Otters' end. 15 seconds to go. Abraham to open side. This will come out to the neutral zone. Barry waits for his teammates to get onside. McDavid stayed close with him. 5 seconds. Griffith behind the net. Bouncing puck. Domi reaching for it. Has to hurry to get it to the front of the net. Can't get a shot away. And there's the horn. Regulation can't solve it. Overtime can't solve it. And we are 2-2 for the second straight week on Friday Night Hockey. Heading to a shootout. Bailey and Dance, the goalies, as Robbie Fedoruk makes his sheet of shooters.
Friday Night Hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Old Dutch, the official chip of the CHL. With Old Dutch, quality lives here. And by Cal Tire, brands you can't find anywhere else. Cal Tire, true service.
Shootout time on Friday Night Hockey. The first shooter will be Seth Griffith of the London Knights as he comes in on Oscar Dansk. The Bruins draft pick. He can be crafty off the post.
Oscar Dansk has looked good throughout the shootout. He stopped now 9 of 10 shots he has seen in the shootout. And a little flip of the hands to try and go to the forehand side doesn't work for Griffith.
These two had a shootout back on October 6th that went 9 rounds. Stephen Harper comes in, and he's blocked by the left pad of Bailey.
And Bailey's been equally as good as Dansk. In fact, now Bailey has stopped all 10 shootout attempts against him. And here Harper trying to use a little speed to go to the backhand and slide it 5-hole, but Bailey just followed him across and made the stop.
All 10 of those stops have been against Erie. Max Domi. Domi takes the shot, and saved by Oscar Dansk.
Losing the puck about 10 feet out, forced Domi just at the last second to try and flick it up over the blocker side, and he couldn't do so. You can see he was so in tight with the stick, couldn't get much leverage.
Here's Connor McDavid. He goes wide. McDavid stick handling quickly, and lost the handle before he got a shot.
And Bailey followed him out thereafter, and you can see McDavid, the youngster, getting chirped all the way back to the Erie bench by that veteran London team.
Even the crowd at Budweiser Gardens knew who he was. He received boos as he was going in. Plancer walks in. The 17-year-old rookie Kyle Plancer tried to beat Dansk 5-hole and it didn't work.
And Platzer was the guy who won it for London in the last shootout. So Dale Hunter says, why not go with the hot hand and stop down low by Dansk.
J.P. Lombardo, a chance to win it for Erie. Lombardo comes in off the post.
Boy, isn't that something? We had a conversation with Dale Hunter before the game. NHL Intelligence says that most goals are scored within that 15-foot range of the net. But one-on-one, the goaltenders are just so good, it's tough to score against them.
We're into extra rounds now. Ryan Rupert walks in. Snapshot. Dansk hung onto it and made sure to spin that body away from the goal line.
I know one thing, you're not going to beat Dansk down low. I think if you're going to get to him, you're going to have to go up high.
Shooting next for the Erie Otters, number 28.
And just inside the blocker, and he tucked it against the side of his body to Dansk.
Here's the captain of the Otters, Maple Leafs draft pick, Connor Brown. Deeks scores! Connor Brown leads the Otters to victory in the shootout. What an effort by this young Erie Otters club, down 2-0, battle back to get the 2 points.